Good evening, good afternoon, and wherever the stars may find you. My name is Walt, and this is Galaxy's Edge podcast on a Friday night. Don't ask me the date because I'm high as hell. Uh, Going from my right to my left, going around the circle, we have Sphinx. How you doing, sir?
You.
We have Daniel,
What's up?
Rookie,
Ooh,
Barry.
hey.
There he is. For our author portion of the segments, we have Mr. J.R. Hanley.
OBA be praised.
Ingram Matt is down waiting to get in, and Bubba is as well. We're going to get those guys in a second. So before I pass the keys, hand over the controls, what's going on in the Discord this week?
Man, it has been busy. Also, we've got interesting stuff popping off in the afterlife right now. We won't go into that because some people are going through a phase, but it's okay.
All
So
those
we
food
got
pictures, though.
blasters and bangers. I would like to thank the guys in there because they actually helped me go after a firearm purchase recently. It's nothing special, but it's a gun that I've wanted for a while, and that's been popping off a lot. And then because this started more so last week, I'm going to say it this week as well. We have the RP, the role-playing stuff popping off pretty hard because we just introduced the Savage Company. So if you see yourself as a tech savage like uplifted Commander Barry, go ahead and do your take on that there, bud.
Prepare to be purged.
So was it Nerf, cap gun? What was it?
What was that?
Swordfish. Was it Nerf, a cap gun? What?
Oh, it was a Jericho 941. It was a police turn-in. So I was just like, oh, it's less than $600 by like a good margin. I'm gonna go for it. But yeah.
Fair enough.
For the role-playing stuff, Phantom, Vanguard, and Terror have actually united to try to purge Barry's new Savage.
I will reclaim my sons or they will all die. That is the only option.
It's kind of weird seeing all of them team up after seeing all the shit talk for the last, 8 months?
See, you're uniting the Discord server. Good job on you. Now we're going to kill you.
Oh.
But I will actually, because we don't have a featured insider, I'll let Barry talk about Savage Company for a little bit and give us your spiel on that. Except he muted himself.
That's me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Say that again. I had someone walking into my house.
Explain your shitty ideology.
Oh, the shitty ideology of the Argo. Well, so we're from the light hugger, the Argo, which we're saying we have nothing about yet. But we sat on the edge after we saw all the other savages getting clusterfucked. So then we hit out there and started just stealing everything. And people. That's our favorite thing. We like to steal people.
They taste good with ketchup.
They do. They really do.
Hanley, are you one of those people that puts ketchup on steak?
No, that's what A1 steak sauce is for. Although, admittedly, if the steak is good enough, it doesn't need it.
True. But yeah, so welcome in, Ingram Matt. How you doing tonight?
Oh, God, where do I even start, mate? What a week. What a week.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you there, bud. So
I actually just woke up, I'll believe it or not.
I could kind of tell. Yeah. Yeah, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. But anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much been everything for the Discord right now.
No, people have been going crazy posting food pictures, making all the rest of us hungry.
Yes,
in the mess
true.
hall.
Fen has been posting a lot of his recipes as well, and a lot of people are drooling on their keyboards like Badger it probably is right now.
Wait. Is he really cooking them, or is he like stealing Pinterest pictures and claiming it?
I think he's a little too low tech for stealing pictures like that. You know. So yeah.
We're partially to blame because he started posting food stuff in like the afterlife, and then we started asking him to like where we got interested, and then he started saying like, oh yeah, I could post the recipes in like mess hall, and we were just like, yes, please.
Yeah, I just asked a question in it of who's had like the most complicated culinary thing they've made, and the one reply was olive bread. For me, it's baklava.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I made like tilapia for dinner.
Tilapia.
Sandwiches.
The fish.
Tilapia. My words, tilapia. That's the way to pronounce it. Thanks, tongue. Is illegal here. We're not allowed to have it.
Why not?
Really?
It's considered a pest fish, and yeah, you get fined about. I think it's. I know. There's a fellow like from my Townsville watching right now, but I'm pretty sure it's anywhere from $15,000 to $200,000 fine.
But eating them gets rid of the pest fish, right?
We're over here just downing tilapia like it's no big deal, and you're like, yeah, if we touch that, we get fined.
Well, so you have to try it when you're in America.
I've had tilapia before.
It's cheap.
Yeah, we get it because it's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It's tasty too.
All right, we should move on from food before we make the audience listening hate us because they're probably now hungry.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move us on to Spiral News. So of course, Savage Wars Book 1 has dropped, and I know we went over this for insiders, but for the public, our very important Ingramat right here got to hear his name get read out by Stephen Lang, and what was it like feeling like that, hearing a famous actor just completely say your name perfectly right?
For the first time in possibly forever, where someone got my name right the first time. That is actually a rarity for my last name. It was awesome. I loved it. And I despite the fact I know, I won't say what happened, but something happens to me, I still loved it every second of it. I won't lie. I got a little giddy and happy.
Did you call your mom and be like, "Oh, Mom, look, I'm famous"?
I did. I actually got it for my mum and dad on Audible as well.
That's
so they
awesome.
could listen to it.
Were they proud
Mom,
of
I had a
you?
real part.
Were they proud of you?
The dad was just like, "Is that all?" Yeah.
So Badger was saying, what was it like hearing a famous actor read your fate?
Oh yeah, it's like I said before. It was just the whole thing of, oh my god, there's a famous dude reading my name was the big thing I've ever had.
Him right now.
But, really?
Oh, I can hear him.
I can hear him.
I got it. Yeah. I can.
Weird.
This is a brand new microphone too, so don't use muck around with me.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome. Like I know, yeah, him reading my fate. I know my fate. I'll never be seen again. But nah, look, mate, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Do it again.
So
well, you never know. We had that conversation already, Matt.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah.
You guys have all finished Savage Wars, as far as I know, right?
I'm on chapter 40, I think.
I just finished part 1, and I just started listening into a little bit of part 2, and I obviously not to spoil anything, but I like where a very certain special tool is being very, very much teased in the narrative right now. I won't get into that, but I like where it's going so far. You got that one certain character that wants to go along with the big merry band of heroes, and you're just like, you got this sort of like, all right, well, what's your role in this going to be? But then she starts talking about it, and I'm like, I know what that is. That thing you're talking about, that piece of tech thing, that's important. I like that. So
yeah. I don't think we have to worry too much about spoilers unless you want to get spoiled. But yeah. Overall, I thought Savage Wars was a very fantastic book, and Stephen Lang did a phenomenal job at narrating it. I can't wait to hear Savage Wars Book 2 and 3. I'm a little excited about that.
Speaking of Savage Wars Book 2 and 3, I started on the podcast I do outside of this about science fiction. I posted a call to Audible, and I'm like, we want more with Stephen Lang. So if you guys are so inclined on your social media accounts and you're like digging Savage Wars, start a letter writing campaign and tag Audible in all of it and be like, we want Stephen Lang for book 5 through 1 million.
Can we just get a re-record of like every GE book with Stephen Lang?
I take that too. I'll be in my bunk.
I'd endorse that, honestly. Let's just do it.
No, you can't get rid of my Order of Centurion. I love my Mark Boyette.
Yeah,
Mark Boyette is really good.
Yeah,
we'll still keep him, but then we'll just redo it with Stephen Lang anyway.
Yeah, they have options.
So you have the option. Yeah, unlike with The Martian, where they're just like switching it up with Will Wheaton, and I'm like,
Yeah. Wasn't R.C. Bray narrating that, or didn't he narrate it? And then
he did.
They got rid of his version and then brought in the Will Wheaton version or something like that.
Yeah, they did. I'm a little disappointed because I never got the R.C. Bray version. So, but I mean, I'm sure they have like some type of contract reason for it, and I get it. It's Will Wheaton though, and I'm just.
I listened to Ready Player One and Armada with Will Wheaton reading it, and I was like, this is weird.
So, what I've noticed is when Will Wheaton narrates a book, it's more so he's like reading the book. He doesn't do different voices as much, but he does a pretty okay job. I listened to a lot of his stuff that he did for John Scalzi. I don't know if JR knows any of John Scalzi's books, but he does the Red Shirts book and a couple other ones. And Red Shirts was goddamn hilarious with basically the premises is that it's the Star Trek Red Shirts that are like, hey, if we go off by ourselves, we tend to die real quick. But if we stay with this level of command crew, we tend to make it through just fine, you know. And,
so it's a fourth wall-breaking book.
Oh yeah. It's got so much of that. It's a good read or listen to. I'd advise checking it out. But yeah.
Excuse me.
Well, that was attractive.
Ooh.
That's what he thinks of Red Shirts.
Sponsored by Pepsi Max.
Pepsi. So, moving on. Savage Wars, yeah. Go ahead and go out and pre-order book 2 and 3. They're out there and ready.
Letter writing campaign to get more. We want more books by Savage Wars with Stephen Lang.
Exactly.
Hey, you can pre-order those with a credit or no?
Yeah, you can with a credit.
You can get it with credit.
Awesome.
So I noticed that you can, if you pre-order them, you can get them at a discount sale.
Yep.
But honestly, if you have
you
a
can't
credit
do the whisper
handy,
sync though.
It's I think the credit version is a lot cheaper anyways, because you know it's like $11 per credit, I think, something like that.
Yeah. What's that?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's all you guys. You go.
No, I was gonna say too. Yeah, with Audible too, just like keep an eye out for deals. Like sometimes it does pay to keep an Audible membership. I think it was like $14 a month for credit, and then it's like you get like two Audible originals, which I think you guys said Forget Nothing was going to be an Audible original, so that's going to be like totally free. Yeah. And then like also sometimes they're like, hey, thanks for being a customer. Here's a free credit. go get a book.
Wait, what? They've never done that to me. They must not like me as much as they like you.
I had 8 free credits when I was in after a while.
They do it very, very rarely, but it has happened to me where they're like, hey, you want a free credit? I was like, okay. But
I've had that.
Yeah, their customer service is actually pretty good. There have been times too where I'm like tight on money, and then I try to say like, all right, I'm gonna cancel, and they'll be like, okay, well, why are you canceling? I'm like, it's too expensive. Well, hey, do you want a free audiobook? Like, oh, I guess. Or they'll offer something like buy a credit every other month or something like that.
Yeah.
If you could see that, I know it's blurry, but it's trying to focus now. Yeah, I had 8 credits when I got Savage Wars, and I hadn't used Audible in a year. And I logged in, it's like 8 credits. I'm like, well, what? I'll take that.
Yeah. I would use up those
baffled.
credits too because they do.
I've got 3 left.
I'm baffled by that. As soon as I get them, I'm like, well, I guess that's Helldivers is here now too. So
Another great series.
I have forgotten about my credits too, and when I got back in, I was like, hey, I got 4 credits. Well, there's 4 books I want. Here we go.
But yeah, so moving on from the pre-orders, we got
Oh, you didn't say it right.
merch.
Using the blunt force segue.
Yeah, I mean, I've
Glad
heard
you're
from the
approved.
best. I mean, you know, when he's all drugged out, you know, drooling on his keyboard, you know, I gotta take charge.
They are. Oh, hold on. This is a PG-13 show. He's reminded us, so we should note that these are medically approved drugs.
Oh yes, medically approved.
Oh yes.
From a guy in the trench.
He had a white coat.
Yeah, he had a white coat. But yeah, we got the new Goth Solus and Article 19 bumper stickers, which is pretty awesome. If Badger could just pop that up on the screen, because he runs that
And if
stuff.
he doesn't, he will keep dancing and singing. I promise you.
Well, even before it's point on just
No.
the screen.
No. Matt can do the dancing. He's got them supple curves. Well, I mean,
He's got the Numa
but,
Numa.
you know.
He's got the Numa Numa image right now.
If anyone saw my stream last night, they would have seen me dance to like hardcore techno. That was pretty funny.
Or the GIF that you got on your Discord where you're just like.
Oh yeah, I'll post that in Afterlife while we're waiting for the thingy.
Oh my God, Badger,
Badger,
come
you're
on.
killing us.
Well, anyway, we'll wait
We'll
for
move
it.
on. We'll move on and come back to it.
Is he coming in?
Give him time.
There
There
he
he
comes.
Welcome
Hey.
back. You mute yourself.
Yeah. He's muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
You guys suck.
We love you anyway.
Give me some more lead time next time.
No,
What's the-
throw you on the spot. Come on, you're supposed to be in charge.
What's the Galaxy's Edge website again?
Galaxy'sEdge.us.
I'm kidding. Don't get weird.
I'm helping you.
Coming from you.
I know you're a little drugged right now.
Oh my
You
god.
need all the help you can get.
So for those who aren't aware, the reason I'm kind of sitting in the background is because they just installed new legs, like a certain member of the series that had to get new legs. But I am sitting here trying to float above consciousness. Yeah, it's a thing.
The fact
I'll
that
link
you
in
are
the
even
chat.
in this is amazing.
What's that?
The fact that you're even doing this right now, post that is amazing.
Yeah, so I had major surgery on Wednesday. They basically opened up my leg and fixed a whole bunch of damage that I had done to it, and it was like, you guys. I was like, oh, it's going to be great because there's no what do you call it, show this week. It'll be fine. I'll get the and then all of a sudden I get the you do know there's a show this week, right? I'm like, son of a no good. So
Wonky.
yes, it's all about the Wobonki. So until I can find the stickers,
Hanley has them in the chat for you.
what's that? Oh, there it is. Cool. Is that all right? So we'll stop sharing that. We'll go to that.
The t-shirts are cool too, though, people.
The t-shirts are cool too.
I was going to talk about the t-shirts after
We'll
we talk
come
about
back
the
to
bonuses.
we will come back to the t-shirt. Hold on.
It's kind of funny. Just as soon
Be
as
careful you don't show the new insider ones, though.
All right, so we got the bumper sticker. We're gonna go we're gonna go sharing a screen, something like that. Holy goodness, that was weird.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Show the world where you stand. Team
What-
Gonzalez.
Damn cat. But yeah, so there's that. All right, go talk about that.
Okay, so you can make the Galaxy great again by putting that sticker on the back of your car. It's very simple. You just go to this website, you pay the $4.99 plus any shipping, and in about a week or so, depending on where you live, you could have that, and then clean your bumper, and then fix it, and there you go. You've done your part.
And if anybody writes in Goth Sullus, we are not responsible for the shenanigans that follow.
Yeah, I was gonna say because
There's
Now
some
I have
people
to
that are going to
register to
think that's
vote.
real.
And then
Now
of
I
course,
have
we
to
got-
register to vote for that.
Bubba, if you do that, we want you to
19
take
bumper
pictures
sticker.
of you writing in Gothellus so we can share that around.
And
God.
if you don't feel like going down the Black Fleet path, then you have your Article 19 bumper sticker that you too can get. And yeah, let's kill those points. Let's take the Republic back from
Down with the House of Reason.
Yeah,
House of
and
Reason,
let's
House of
just,
Lies.
Let's put the Legion back in power under Chun.
So
Spoiler alert.
we should get some man on the street, like I think it's like the late night guys do, and have them see if we can get people to say they support Article 19 as like a
Yes.
YouTube bit.
I would volunteer for that. I
I'll
would
tell
do
you
that.
what we can do. We can when Sphinx gets to the point where he can actually be solo driver, he can start just pass them out, down the streets of Texas.
Language.
And Sphinx says, "I will."
See,
All
here,
right.
around where I live, I could probably get away with like the Article 19 stuff, but like I could guarantee you, in such a certain leaning state that I'm in, people would just see like, oh, there's some type of candidate, and then they would see the lower part, and they're like, who is this guy? Where's the hardest thing I can throw through his freaking back window? I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, they won't even read Galaxy. They'll just see great again.
They'll just see the word
And
great. They'll just
Yeah, and it's like, oh great, a Trump supporter, hooray!
be like Metal Gear Solid's like alert going off. That ring. And you just next thing you know, like, oh boy.
It's
What was that
unfortunate
noise?
that stuff does happen, because that actually happened to my sister as well.
To prevent that, what we need to do is to get Walt to record some back away from the car messages that your car's alarm system will play. And then you'll hear his doggy barking in the background, like, step away from the car. We have eyes on you.
What is it? What is this, RoboCop?
Or better yet,
I was
You
gonna
have
say
3
till we get him
seconds
go
to comply.
RoboCop.
just
Yes.
play a soundbite of like the prologue from like Galactic Outlaws, that part where RC Bray like does the flight alarm impersonation.
Yes. Yes, that would be hilarious.
I just
God.
if I could avoid any legal ramifications and just have that like ripped from Audible just as my wake up tone, I would do it.
Hey, wait. So that's what we should do. We could see if they can get like audio clips for like ringtones and such. They could sell. I will suggest that. That will come tonight.
So, yeah, come get that good merch, because it supports.
Gotta
the
support the
creators,
Bubbas.
and yeah, it's worth it. I mean,
Speaking of,
in
yeah.
case you
Support the
didn't know,
Bubbas.
you can even get signed copies.
Is that hardback?
Rub it
Yeah.
in.
That is.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm kind of jelly right now.
And in case you didn't see, it says your stealth fighter will soon be yours. Asterisk. Didn't notice till
I
my
don't
my
believe you.
friend was like, not.
No,
So good meme, Jason. I appreciate that,
What makes you think it was Jason and not Nick?
because it came from Puyallup.
Okay. Well, there's also a possibility, because Jason believes in child labor, that it was one of his kids. Is like, I'll show you.
That's funny.
But
Speaking of
there's
merch,
laws against that here.
speaking of the
Still
merch,
in
Someone
business, it's
knows
all
about
good.
it.
So,
speaking of merch too, the first thing that I realized when I went downstairs, I was like, oh hey, I got mail. It's from Galaxy's Edge. It's all the patches that I had ordered. I remember I screen capped that.
Speaking of merch, if you cannot afford the hardcovers, because I know they get pricey, you can buy those book plates, which is the signed cover, I think, for one of the contracts and terminations. I can't
Yeah.
remember. I'd have to pull up the
Chasing the
website.
Dragon.
Chasing Dragon.
Yeah, so you can get some book plates that are signed.
I still have all 10. I haven't used a single one. I'm scared to pull them off the backing. They're valuable, man.
So are they
And
actually
You
stickers?
also get a free sticker as well.
I don't want to find out.
So-
When society breaks down, those are going to be my currency to survive.
fellow prepper.
Instead
I
of
like
bottle caps, it's sci-fi covers.
You
Yeah.
sure it won't be all the patches? Because damn, those will have some value.
I thought
it.
a bunch
Head on
around
over to
Iraq that are floating
galaxy.us,
around.
everyone. Was that
Does
Jay?
anybody happen to have book plates on hand?
No, I don't. But I said when we were in the Army, everywhere we went, they were selling these weird cheesy sort of patches like in Iraq and Afghanistan.
I might. Let me check real quick.
And so I just keep thinking I have nothing to do with those. So if they're currency, man, I'm in the money.
Like waifu patches.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yep, here we go.
So
That is awesome.
Oh, that is awesome.
like I said before,
Come back.
they look all personalized, but JR informed me that he just has his wife sign them all.
Oh no! I didn't
Cheating.
say that. That was Badger. That was Badger declaring
Oh,
that
okay.
information.
Oh
He's
yeah,
not here
yeah,
to defend himself.
exactly. This guy, this is why he is such a good author. You know, because he knows where to shift blame. I mean, that's typical point behavior, anyways.
No, that's what you call someone who's married. I'm used to it. Like, blame the kids.
Oh,
Like, no, I didn't drink the last of the milk. It was the kids.
What is this, Malcolm in the
just
Middle?
you wait.
Where Hal comes in. All right, who wants to take the hit on this one? It's like, I'll do it.
Jump on a
my
hand grenade,
turn, I'll
son.
go.
Not just the store, Galaxy Edge as well, but in our groups as well, we use are all watching from too. We have a certain person there called Clint who does homemade stuff as well for GE.
Oh, the coins.
Your coins, your crests, and inside your crest as well, he's got some.
Oh, you got the wood backing that came with it too. That's nice.
Yeah, he has this printed out as well.
Is it the Ranger Creed?
Oh wow.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
So-
And he has
Oh,
coins
that's
as well.
awesome.
He has his own group, affiliated group, the Galaxy's Edge Challenge Coins. So you
Order
can.
of the Centurion?
I don't know. What were you showing?
He did. I did see someone had someone did have a Order of the Centurion, and it comes in like a box or something like that. At least I've seen that in like the fan group on Facebook.
Is he still only available through the Facebook?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yeah, he
But-
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see him. He's on the fan page and the insider page, I believe. But
All right.
anyways, hold on.
Uzi, or what?
No.
No, no, no.
Goose is an Outback Steakhouse. I want to give a shout out to Goose. So he's sharing his Australian heritage with Matt. That's as close as he's ever gonna get.
Good man.
So with your Australian voice, please
And
lead us
Foster's.
into this next segment.
And his Fosters. Don't forget
Using the Blood
Fosters.
Force segue to go to the next segment. Shut up. You fucking Foster. You ruined it! Going. I can't even say that. Using the Blood Force segue and go to the next segment. Alrighty. Creature feature. We all have our wacky and weird and wonderful creatures from the alien universe known as Galaxy's Edge. Alright. What are your favorites, everybody?
My favorite is this new creature that I just discovered called Ingramat. He's our very own Galaxy's Edge Steve Irwin, so thank you very much.
And he
And
loves
he's so
Fosters,
cute.
which is, the
I would
national
watch
brand
that.
of Australia.
I'm a rarity, mate. You couldn't afford me.
Like seriously, I would watch that.
Honestly,
He's got his
yeah.
own holo channel, like tackling Tyrannosquids, and like, oh, she's fine. She's not even deadly right now. I'm just gonna put her to sleep. She's not
Got
just
some
wrangling
mean,
me
'cause
to death.
I'm one of a kind.
a mating
Let's talk about one
technique.
that's not one of a kind. The Coobs. When you
Ooh, I
first
hear they-
discovered the Coobs, and first read about them, what were your initial
Hip-
thoughts? Like,
Hippity hoppity, get off my property. That's what.
Just I loved hearing Bray's. I loved Porter's impersonation of the Coobs like this. That like click speak language, and then I just love the way it's just the exchange between Exo and that like Coob insurgent in the village. It was just like
Yeah,
We
you're
have-
gonna have that
Yeah.
big die.
soldier, real
Oh,
soldier. Die.
I really do love how in the most recent takeover one, how Porter actually does a lot of speech effects. You know,
Yeah.
you can
The
see
clicks.
him, or you can hear him do the clicks and the different kind of attempts at the dialects and stuff. I thought that was really fucking cool in it.
So do you think
I-
Kool-Aids would taste good in soup?
What?
No.
Do you think Kool-Aids, because frogs, people eat those, so you think Kool would taste good?
I'd
Yeah,
try it.
But there's like a size to taste ratio, and I have a feeling it'd be really bad. And plus,
Yeah.
they said it smelled fishy, and so I'd assume you don't want to
Freezing
eat something
again.
that probably looks like chicken but tastes like fish.
They kind of make me think of like when they tried to eat prawns in like District 9. I'm like, there's no way that thing tastes good. Come on, no. That whole thought hit me like sideways like a 2x4. I don't like that at all.
I'm envisioning gas station sushi, but from Iowa.
I mean, we all know Wabonki tastes good with ketchup.
One thing
what
that
did you guys
I did
think about
find...
the culture?
I liked it.
I
It was... You okay, Matt?
Go ahead.
You're right.
Yeah, this stuff.
The coronavirus, it hit Australia just today. It's fantastic.
I can get you if you need that shoved down your throat to breathe. Just saying.
All right, so I actually back to the Coobs. I like the way they did the culture. It was distinct from the Z, but it was still very clearly they were the other in the universe. The undesirable.
It was a strong tribal.
Yeah.
It was a strong tribal solitary culture who just was like, stay away from us. You do your thing, we'll do our thing. And we're all tribes.
But after Takeover, and I can't say but so much because this is for everyone, right? This is not the Insider.
We can stay away from insider stuff.
You see that the development of their culture and how do I say this without spoilers? Give me a second. Someone else speak.
Eggs.
Advancement.
Eggs.
Cake.
Eggs.
I like the whole tribal thing. Like I remember when I first like started getting into it, I'm like, these guys are like, this is kind of like, almost. I kind of had this almost Jamaican kind of vibe to them when I first started listening. That I'm like, yeah, no, this is like straight up African tribal. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Takeover kind of showed like, hey, well, this is sort of what the Repub could have like. This is kind of like with all the private security and everything. This is kind of what the Repub could have had if they hadn't like
idealistic nature.
Yeah, if they weren't so like if they didn't get too involved with like policing and then the marriages and all that stuff, and they're trying to like, oh, we're gonna make nice with this tribe. It's like it had a whole lot of conflicts that they shouldn't have stepped into, but like it was really cool to see that at play.
I liked how they showed the culture with the familial, like, you can come into my hut as a guest, so I won't kill you, but all bets are off when you step off that threshold. I kind of dug that culture. We've seen that other places in the world.
Yeah, they're very loyal to their one tribe. You don't see a lot of infighting among their, like, the singular tribe they're in. You don't see, like, the lower members trying to become the upper members, at least from my memory, as you see in other cultures.
You see really well this demonstrated in Legionnaire when the guy was like, I can't attack you because this tribe is married to my so-and-so, and then it's like, we handled that. I can kill you now.
Yeah.
I really dug how they handled that.
Yeah, they based it on a lot of just like old Earth tribal situations, like wanderers in the Sahara, but they also then made them localized.
Yeah, we saw, like I said, it's something you see in a lot of tribal sort of nomadic peoples.
Right. So, a little bit. That was a good on the Coobs. Let's move on to the best
real
book
quick,
of the series.
Before we leave the Coobs and Z in a fight, who wins?
Coobs.
Coob always.
They give the big guy.
Frog with an AK, can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, but you've got the death by 1,000 cuts. Come on, that's gotta count.
Oh yeah, well they're spending all the time.
It's a torture technique, not a kill everyone technique.
Yeah, Coop.
Badger says frog with an AK.
Yeah, frog with an AK, mate. Can't go wrong with that.
All right.
Coop's cut with Kankari. The Donk's kill with Kankari. I mean, that thing's like every edgelord carries that Kukri style thing. At least
I imagine a Kukri.
At least we got the Coobs making that big die with the tomahawk.
I never actually saw their knives as a Kukri. I saw it as more as I can't remember what they're called, but it's like that reverse blade. It looks like a crescent moon. I know Matt probably knows what I'm talking about.
That sounds like a Kukri to me.
That's what I always thought of.
Sphinx isn't full edgelord anyways because he has an AK and a Kukri, so it's perfectly fine then.
All right, so
indeed.
It's balanced.
All right. So what's next on the list?
we got the Lycan lore from the best book of the series, and everybody else can die. I love my Lycan lore. I mean, she is one person killing machine, and fantastic. I mean,
Which
the
book was
smell
that in
can
again?
kill as well, but you know,
Ouch.
you got some you know, trade-offs. But
So-
yeah, what did you
so
guys
we-
think?
So before we do that, we have Lana in the chat mocking my pronunciation of the Z. So
Oh,
we're
yeah,
just
G.
gonna
G.
whatever. I'm right because I said so. It works with the kids.
Oh,
No, I don't like that opinion, so you're wrong by default, mate.
It's the same logic as Chahoon.
Oh,
Let's
Brooke,
not
I'm
get
gonna
into
get
that.
after you for that
oh my
one.
God! Y'all
I
got
think-
so triggered over that.
So I think the distinction is where people read. Did they read it or they listen? And for those books, I actually read them, so I'll have to go back and listen to R.C. Bray and Porter serenade me with their dulcet tones and find out how to say it right.
But yeah, what'd you guys think about the Lycan lore?
I forgot what book was that in.
That was
Iron
Iron
Wolves.
Wolf.
Oh, right.
Wife
I mean-
material.
Oh,
I'm gonna put this into. Oh my god! Fuck.
So I mean, I dig the wolves. Like I got the wolf motif. I like that. So
Yeah.
he gets points for that. But I just keep thinking, man, that thing's gonna smell. Because it was a hot planet. It wasn't like they were on somewhere ice. I was gonna list a mouse ice planet, but I decided we shouldn't.
It's not
go
like
there
they were on
anymore.
Utopian.
Right. So it wasn't exactly climate controlled. So I just keep imagining the smell of the beast. So I'm like,
You got to teach her
Dirty
about
wet
the
dog.
grooming standard, and it'll be
That's right.
fine.
Oh Jesus!
what is
Oh.
that?
Oh, that is horrifying.
I think
That's
I dated her
that's
sister.
Badger's interpretation of a Lycan lore.
I can live with it.
Give it just give it a solid 2 bottles of that Irish Spring. I think it'll be fine.
I'm going to put the Lycan
Tree
laws
oil.
into simple terms that all of us can agree with. Having big, giant werewolf Russian enemies means you win.
Yes.
I like the fact that she did this thing towards the end where it was literally just taking like the carapace of the dead, like the dead roach enemies that they're fighting, or the grasshopper looking dudes, and they just start lashing it and sticking it to her fur as like armor. I'm like, that is the most savage thing I could think of anyone doing. Is just like, I mean, salvaging someone else's armor is one thing, but then being like, yeah, I'm just gonna rip your chitinous skin off and put it on my own body and then rush at you.
Oh,
Like, what?
Your chest plate is now my knee pads. Get over it. You're dead.
So
Just don't tell her to have a shower, by the way, or a bath. You will probably be ripped alive.
you just gotta hope it rains a lot, I guess, and you could throw some shampoo at them.
She did clean up towards the end. I remember. It was
okay.
Smelly breath,
Here's-
though.
Here's the question: would she smell worse in a hot, humid environment or a hot, dry environment?
Humid. Absolutely.
Human.
Well,
I
this-
kind of want. I kind of want to see somebody cosplay as her, just to be able to tear somebody's head off.
I've seen Matt's legs. We're already pretty close.
we just gotta put a pink ribbon in his hair and call it a day. All right, so Bubba, you had something you wanted to add on the fly to the list of creatures we were going to talk about.
Yeah, it would. So for anyone who's read Best of Us,
The best
Matt.
book.
At the end of it, they were, well, actually throughout the entire story, they were talking about a species of birds on the planet that they were trying to reach. Whoa.
All of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Sorry, I'm not trying to ruin anything, but it was like, what was your thoughts on like them meeting a species that early on in the history of expansion?
I want to know what happened to them where we are now in the main series.
I also think this disproves Master's theory about the creation of alien life.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Definitely.
I kind of like the idea of that not being a thing for as much PC's love as I enjoy.
Like the way that it was even explained, it was like you're just something's wrong with you.
That's a master's level of like thinking too, though. Is the thing like he probably doesn't even believe it. We've all known somebody who just speaks nonsense for the sake of speaking nonsense, for the sake of somebody going like, okay, that's weird. I'm glad I'm not that weird.
Yeah, but no, I just thought it was interesting that there was a sentient species that they would come across so early on in expansion, and then just like, no spoiler on this, just what is ended in the book,
Yeah, that's a good question about what happened to them, and we will bug Jason and Nick to tell us the answer.
Actually, be Karen Travis.
I actually have a very minor theory regarding them that's like just super side, but extremely minor spoilers from Imperator. We know where Rex came from and what ship he was stuck on. My theory is the reason he named his ship that he flies around on, the Obsidian Crow, was because of his time on the Savage Hulk, the Obsidia, and the fact that he must have met these crow people at one time, because he is damn old.
Yeah.
So he named his ship after both of those events. That's my theory.
That's
Works for me.
Pretty good theory. I like it.
So, or the next creature that we're going to talk about ate them as they conquered. Could also be what happened to them. So let's talk about the donks.
And what's the proper clinical term for the donks they're handling?
Donks.
I agree with that.
You're not getting me again.
Red mist.
I agree with that.
Red mist.
They have no proper name.
Speed bumps.
Jeez.
The
So
only
we're
good
going
donk is a
to
dead
talk about
donk.
the G. What do you guys think about the G?
Target-rich environment.
Article 19 now.
But they're not House of Reason
species.
entirely. Well,
they were. Well, shoot. Spoilers. Okay.
Yeah, geez, JR.
They were affiliated at some point in their long, rich cultural history. How about that?
Rich
Cultural history. Yeah, let's go with that.
That sounds like a point description right there, Hanley.
I sat in enough
you
staff
did it in
briefings.
PR?
I sat in enough staff briefings. I know how those officers talk.
Any time that they were mentioned, I was just like, please, someone shoot this damn thing in the head.
Double tap. 2 in the chest, 2 in the chest, 1 in the brain pan.
Damn right.
You know they did a good job when we all universally hate them, and not a single person detracts from that except for a certain admin on the Discord. We won't talk about him, though.
And a certain cultural anthropologist who went to show his love in the story.
He loves to clop, okay? Let him be.
I think one of my...
Sorry.
I was gonna say, I think one of my least favorite scenes in any of the books was just that long drawn out, not because of how it was written or anything, just because it was just so focused on the G. It was that one guy that was going to speak with Boom Kali about like how the House of Reasons it's like, hey, they want to make nice with you guys and give you all this cool stuff. And then like the whole time, every detail is talking about like how the House of Reason and the Republic is just like, oh, the G, they're just the misunderstood race. And I'm just like, just kill. Just the whole time I'm just like, plasma bathe this entire planet.
Glass the planet and be done.
Glass
Kill them all, like God sort them out.
Glass him.
Well, see, with
they don't even get a choice, just glass.
With the donks, though, which god? Because they had a few of them that they fought over.
Did they ever name the gods?
I don't think they did. They just sort of named the planets, I think.
Yeah, I know each planet had a different god, and they had 4 gods. So, but I don't know if the planets share the god's name. I don't know that.
I don't think
they've ever mentioned them. I know they were like, oh, we have 4 planets, so we have 4 gods, and it's like, well, if you find a new home world like they try to, are you gonna have a 5th god come up?
Yeah, Nick said 4. Yep.
So I'm gonna cut us at the creature feature for a bit. But we actually finally got our insider to pop in, because we do this show really well planned out, and we have a whole, script and everything that we stick to really well. So, go ahead and pop out Bubba, not Sphinx. Badger. All right. Oh my God, he's upside down.
My beautiful
Nice
baby
one,
boy.
Matt, I thought you were
Foxio.
in Down Under.
Foxio, you are now the featured insider for the show. So,
Stupid joke.
Oh,
Can you
Grand
hear me?
Harness. Oh, he's gone.
oh, he's dead. We killed him.
And that's our featured insider segment, ladies and gentlemen.
He says hi and bye. All praise the donks.
I love looking up his nose. But
That was too far, even for me.
Why we got
Alright,
these
well-
technical difficulties going on?
well,
That's
while we
good.
get those tech difficulties fixed, you know.
There we
Foxy,
go.
There we
There it
go. There
goes.
we go.
Oh, there we.
Can
Duct
you hear
tape
us?
production here.
Just keep going, and he'll stare at us ominously until he starts talking. Badger
my forehead
talking
is
about his
big.
forehead.
Okay,
my
next
God.
creature on the
I
list,
don't-
the monk eels.
Yeah. Yeah, monk eels. So,
Oh, God,
honestly,
what was
I
that?
don't remember what those were from.
Iron Wolves too, I believe, weren't they? They were in the river when they were on that very terrible boat.
Oh,
Oh
okay, now
yeah,
I'm
those
remembering.
things sucked.
Yeah.
Alright.
What are you guys' thoughts on them?
Kind of reminds me
I
of
don't
the
wanna be anywhere
shrimps a
near 'em.
little bit from Metro Exodus and Metro Last Light. And
Yeah.
2033, actually, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Wonder how they taste with ketchup.
Dog, get a new
Asian
condom.
1-1 in the blind.
I actually can't remember how big the monk eels were. They were pretty monstrous, weren't they?
I
Yeah,
think
they
so.
were huge.
Pretty. Remember, actually. Nope. Did I hear something? No. No, we got no
No,
sound.
it's okay. We'll keep talking until he fixes his mic.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, wait. We heard his voice, guys. And now
Just keep going. Keep it
yeah.
going.
So
Yeah.
monk eels, they that was
Hello? Hello?
There we go.
there we
Yeah.
go. All right. Cool.
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did my face pop on? Fuck.
Yeah.
Just keep
yeah.
going. Keep going.
Yeah, we good. We're talking about the monk eels now. So, what are you guys' thoughts on them? I know you guys said they were big shrimp and stuff, but yeah. My memory is pretty garbage.
Now the catch-up has me thinking about like throwing them on the Barbie, getting a couple
Oh, yeah.
Fosters.
Oh yeah, because that's a good beer, right?
Traitor. There's no Fosters allowed in this country.
There isn't.
No, it's illegal.
Okay. Well, what are your thoughts on eating monk eel though?
I'm going to be real when it comes to sea creatures in general in real life. I'm not a fan except for fish. I'll only pretty much eat fish, maybe the calamari, that's it. My worst fear is anything with tentacles. So, and that's slimy and like that sort of shit. So, no, thank you. You can eat the monkey eels if you want. Not me.
Yeah, they had a really hard time with them on Iron Wolves because they were limited to spears because the gunfire just would have pissed them off. So
I'm sure I'm allergic no matter what. I'm allergic to that.
big teeth have a tendency to make everybody allergic to something. But speaking of, Matt's favorite type of cuisine, of course we have a creature that was mentioned all throughout the series, and then eventually makes its debut in Madame Guillotine, is the Tyrannosquid. What did you guys
This is why
think?
Badger wanted to pop in because he
Damn
wanted to talk
straight.
about.
You damn straight. Tentacles, teeth, and a whole lot of bad attitude. Oh yeah. So what do you guys think?
That Tyrannosquid scene at the very beginning was goddamn phenomenal. It was so damn cool.
What a re-intro for Rex.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
It's like, hey, so we set up the conflict for this book, and it's like now we gotta bring our hero back in. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So that's happening now. So that's there's a
well-
switch here.
Like I said, I like the octopus squid. They're pretty much my worst fears. But even reading about them in fiction, and even non-fiction, even just reading about, especially with the Tyrannosquid, you got to admit it's pretty awesome. It's yeah. they're like you get something that is generally seen as, you know, in culture seen as sort of like, you know, mysterious, and even though they're not really mysterious, you know what I mean? Like you take it and then you just amplify this thing by like 50. It's like, hey, you know, as a squid, have this big giant bastard of a thing, and then it was cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like how, you know, just like you said, they build something up so much, and it plays this huge part of the universe because they mention it all the time, and then it's finally brought in. And you're like, they are real, and they are terrifying. Holy crap!
Yeah.
And you're right. That intro, like setting it up with the Sword Marines, and then going like, oh, by the way, Tyrus Rex is here.
Talk to us about Sword Marines, Hanley.
I'm in love with them. They are the most awesome creation in the universe, but I'm not biased at all.
I wouldn't be.
I guess
Not at all.
The funny story is when I originally wrote them, they had Leej-like armor, but it was like all blood red and inspired by the Praetorian Guard because I like Rome. And Jason was like, "Yeah, no, they can't be that cool.
They can't have cool armor like the Legion."
He's like, they got to be like the stepchildren to the redheaded stepchild, so like they had to be down. So it was a whole fun back and forth on trying to make them cool, but not too cool.
Well, I think that as far as like Madame Guillotine goes, I think that's one of Rex's more memorable intros. That and the one from Requiem for Medusa when he shows up for the first time there.
Yes.
Both those scenes were just like gold on the page. I mean, it was.
Medusa's,
I immediately went back and played.
Badass.
I immediately went back and played Vegas just so I could, or Rainbow Six Vegas, so I could just shoot a few people while inverted, just because of that scene at the landing pad where he's just, strong as a Gronk, or he's got a magnetic rail, and I'm like, magnetic rail, I love it. Let's do it.
Yes.
And like his entire scene with the Tyrannosquid. It's like, this is why this guy's legendary, because he's doing this crazy stuff for where he's just like, oh, I want this guy, but the only way to get to this guy is to make him think he's caught me. Haha. He did not.
See, Boba Fett just fell in the Sarlacc pit. Tyrus Rex fought it hand to hand.
He got swallowed by it and got regurgitated from it.
Gave it a heartburn.
So in the Facebook feed, Nick Cole is hanging out, and he was saying that in the Sword Marine DFAC, every day is Sparta, especially near the SOS station. So that's for you, JR.
He completes me. He's my spirit animal.
That Tyrannosquid scene was just like, it was for every kid that just thought it was a huge letdown that Boba Fett just fell into the pit. Nick Cole swooped in, was like, hold my beer, let me show you my boy.
Yeah. I would like to see them like bring like during the Savage Wars, or even just any time with a Legion company, just like, oh my god, we have to deal with a Tyrannosquid or more, or like a whole horde of baby Tyrannosquid, and it's just like, how is this gonna even work out?
You got to deal with a savage Tyrannosquid.
So speaking of savage Tyrannosquid, I'm gonna dunk my face out of the screen and see if we can't get our featured insider back. So he's saying it's a Chinese DDoS attempt. So I don't know. We'll see if we can figure it out.
Foxio, my Asian
Hello.
1. Oh my god.
Hello,
we got
Asian
voice.
1-1 in the blind, bro. In the blind.
There we go.
All right, so we're finally gotten you on. You've missed the show a couple times, but it's okay.
7 times. 7 times. So
7 times. So, your intro is what puts you, or what is on your wanted poster for Foxio? What makes you?
are we talking about the
famous?
real one or like a pretend one?
Oh, there's a real one. What would you be known for?
Yeah. What would I be known for? Hello,
Fruit.
is my mic working?
Yeah,
Fruit.
we're
You're
listening.
here.
Oh,
Hello.
damn it. Yes,
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Yeah, Foxio, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yep, you're good. So
All
what's on
right,
your
so
walk
I'd be
poster?
known for my. I like to think I'd be known for my fruit and my obscene stories, honestly. So like
Fruit.
fruits, my horrible experiences with socializing, and this is a PG show, right? So I can't talk
Yeah.
about.
Family
yeah.
friendly.
Oh,
How about the fantastic art that you did for Vanguard
right.
Hair Company?
Can I pause for a minute and say that Nick Cole has left the building? His ankle bracelet says he has to return to the compound. Sometimes it happens. We told him to keep his mouth shut, but it happens. It's Nick. That's why we love him.
But yeah, Foxio, talk about how you came up with the company tags as well for the badges.
I don't know, dude. I just started drawing and stuff, like actually using my art degree for something. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess honestly, I didn't put too much work into the Vanguard one because it's not mine. So like,
Justified.
I just threw some
Absolutely
like I just threw some
justified.
stuff together. But like the terror one, I actually had to draw the terror one based on like Gottsulus's one picture of a Leej helmet in one of the covers because I couldn't find any I could Photoshop. So I actually drew that one. Hence why it looks so bad, but it's passable. Honestly, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if Badger can
Like, in my
find them,
opinion.
but if he does, he can toss up there for you guys to see. But yeah.
I'm not doing a savage one though, in sheer principle. No, I'm not gonna do a savage one.
That's okay. The savages will do you.
Oh.
Wait, that
No.
sounded creepier than I meant it to be.
I won't let them.
Oh, I'm back. Hello. Shit.
I won't
So,
let
I
them.
mean, I'm single, so let's do it. I don't mind.
But yeah. So, what got you into Galaxy's Edge?
That's a funny story, actually. I was watching, I think it was one of the Star Wars movies, and I realized Star Wars was utter crap now. Actually, because I actually like the sequel trilogy now, so I like the second one, but the first one I absolutely hated. So I was kind of like on the hunt for more sci-fi content, and then I came across Galaxy's Edge, and it was by R.C. Brace. I gave it a try, and I'm not gonna lie, the first book I kind of had to slug through it, but I was kind of like, it's like the clone's point of view. So I kept with it, and then the second book hooked me in. So I actually didn't like the first book. I thought it was really boring, honestly. But like from the second onwards, I was kind of hooked into the series.
Okay.
You'll
What
find with
would
the first book as well, it speaks a lot to those of us who served. Yeah, so like, it's still a great book on its own. Not a lot of people will get that connection. That's what drew a lot of us active duty vets in. It's just that first book is tailored towards our experiences, in my opinion. That is.
No, I know, 100%. That's fine. It's just like me as a civilian, right? Like it didn't really click with me all too much, but the second onwards, like, I absolutely loved.
Because it took the perspective of like a disgruntled kind of guy in an outfit, so I kind of immediately clicked. Chun's my boy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know it's a bit of a, like, whenever I tell people I don't like the first book, I always get like the
speaking
you're nuts vibe. But like, I don't know, just like as a civilian, no, it's not even the whole disgruntled thing I didn't like. I just didn't like the actual, like the way it goes down, I guess. I don't know, like I just wasn't a fan of the story of the first one. Up until the end, like the actual, I guess the third part of the book reeled me in, but the second part in specific where they're like going back and forth and trying to get up the mountain, that for me, I mean, like, just didn't click. So I had to slug through the first book, and then from the second one onwards, I absolutely loved it. And then obviously I came into the Discord, and yeah. So like that's honestly I probably stuck around with the series because of the Discord. Because I mean, some of you guys know there's some of the other books I don't really like some of the Order of the Centurion books I'm not a fan of. But like in general, I do like Galaxy's Edge. But the community is a big part for me, like a big thing for me. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, how far are you into the Galaxy's Edge series? Are you all caught up on audio, or you do audio and reading like old boys like Matt and Jr.?
I think I've read everything actually, except the last two Savage Wars books because I'm waiting for the Audible. But outside of that, I've read everything. Some of the insider content, all of the audiobooks. I have all of them actually. There's nothing left for me to consume Galaxy Edge-wise, except for those two Savage Wars books. But I'm waiting because our boy Stephen Lang is too good, honestly. But yeah, there's one more I haven't read. It's the one about the Dark Operator, or Lone Operator. I'm not sure actually. One of the newer
read
ones.
that one either.
Yeah,
but like in general, I'm caught up with Galaxy's Edge.
Okay. What was your favorite book out of what is out so far? It's that Asian internet, guys. You know, give them a break.
I think that was his answer.
Probably gonna have to be.
Oh, there we go.
No, it's the book before the last one, the one where you know, like, I don't know. Can we talk about spoilers? I don't think so.
For the Dead?
Yeah, Message
for the Dead. I absolutely love that one.
just try and be, if you have to, try and be as vague as possible if you're going to talk about the story, because there are still some people who haven't read up to that point yet.
Honestly, I just won't talk about it, but that book is my absolute favorite one. It's to the point where I've criticized the last book for not living up to the hype of that book, which is, again, I understand is a personal opinion, but I absolutely love that fifth. I think it's the fifth one, isn't it? Or the seventh? I'm not sure. Because I know that because in Audible, right, it gets packaged together, like the books are.
Oh yeah,
they
yeah.
That was the fourth
one then, yeah.
So I'm not too
Badger
sure.
says it's the eighth one.
Eighth
is the eighth one. Okay.
Yeah, eighth book, fourth part on Audible.
Yeah, that was my favorite one. Just like, I don't know, dude, KTF right from the beginning straight to the end. So honestly, definitely one of the. For me, it was a sick book, right? So. And then I guess if I had to pick one of the other books, like the whole Tyrus Rex series really draws me in. Like the second one especially. Like the first one was really good, the second one was really good, the third one was good, but the second one I absolutely fucking loved. Oh, not allowed to swear. Kellhorn love. So you know.
All right, now rounding it up with favorites. What's your favorite character?
Dude, it's Masters. Oh, I'm like he's the white me, honestly. I feel like
he's the greatest.
Yeah. Every time it gets this section and it says info specific. Oh yeah. What do you do in real life as a Dark Ops insider? What do you do for a job or school, or what's your career? Stuff like that. Let's learn a little bit more about you.
Are you trying to date him?
Yeah, of course. So,
hey,
contestant number 5. If you were to take me out on a date,
never do that voice again.
That was crazy.
So,
long donks on the beach.
So in real life, I am. So in real life, I used to be. I bounce a lot. I bounce around a lot in college. Like I used to be a law student, and then I quit law after 3 years, and then I went into business analytics for a semester, and then I realized it wasn't for me as well. Now I'm a film student, so yeah, from law to film, real quick. But that's me right now. And then on top of that, I do work. Like I have a few restaurants I own, and like I think they do well. I like to think they do. Obviously, if I can still afford my Dark Ops thing, it's probably doing all right. But but yeah, I guess I'm a working student, I suppose.
Okay.
Wait. So does that mean you've got recipes for all the aliens?
Dude, I've got recipes for every weird Asian thing you want to eat, dude. So honestly, just hit me up.
So,
No. I said the aliens. Aliens. It was a blunt force segue.
Oh.
So like, how would you cook the Tyrannus squid?
Honestly, I'd grill it, dude. Like I'd stuff that with vegetables and stuff, and just absolutely grill it.
Outstanding. I can approve of this.
I'll coat it in
Badger
some
is all
Asian
for
peanut
that.
sauce. I'll coat it in some Asian peanut sauce just to get it all Asian-like. Because I gotta represent Sinasia over here, dude. Like, I absolutely got
I like that.
All right,
Like-
Badger can crucify me later, but so how would you cook a Wabanki then?
I was gonna
with your
ask
Asian
that.
heritage.
See.
Wait.
the
Let's not go there.
The problem with a Wabanki is I've had cat before, right? And they're freaking chewy. Like, honestly. So I'd probably have to put in some form of acid just to break it down a little bit in the cooking process, and then I'd proper grill it and I'd proper coat it with some form of yummy Sinasian sauce. Like, I'd have to think about it. But see, when I had a cat a few years ago, absolutely hated it. And like, yeah, there's stuff we got to figure out. Honestly, I know you guys were joking, but I actually do kind of know how to cook cat, so probably the wrong person to ask.
He went from I ate a cat to, I had this cat one time and I hate it. So now that leads us down kind of a dark path.
No, I didn't own the cat, dude. I was in Thailand, and then like me and my friends, we went out drinking, and then you could buy them frozen, like they were frozen. We were like, you know what? I know so there's like 20 people right now who are looking for my address, they're gonna send me hate mail now, but like I'm sorry, folks. I live in Asia. We're a different world, honestly. But
As long as you stay away from Skriz, I think we're good.
I mean, you know what? This isn't fair because you guys know me. You know I've done it, so you walked me into this one. But
what would you do with all the fur?
But yeah,
Make a coat with the fur.
Shout out to my boy Goose because he knows what cat be like.
Now hold on a second, Ham. You crucify me for save it for afterlife, but you're like, make a fur coat. Get out of here.
Well, there's
Double
nothing intrinsically isolating to one demographic about saying make a fur coat out of a furry animal. I'm just saying.
Anyway, let's move past the whole cat thing because I don't want to get hate mail.
I believe.
So we could keep talking about the Wabanki and just not talk about eating them as part of our monsters and mayhem.
That's probably like the plan.
I mean, I think talking about eating Wabanki is okay in this case because Skriz did eat the Mokhtar or something. Like come on.
Oh, they all ate them.
And speaking of Mokhtar, next creature, Mokhtar.
Okay, no, I kind of draw the line at monkeys because we're monkeys, and like I draw the line. Like I wouldn't eat myself. I think.
Yeah.
Go around the circle. What is it going up? Is this the direction there? The Swordfish is up there. There we go. Yeah, Swordfish, the Mokhtar. What do you reckon?
Oh yeah. I thought the Mokhtar were kind of neat. It was they were mostly the pilot though, right? Or Mokhtar are mostly pilots, and then the Wabanki are like the mechanics, if I remember right? Or is it the other way around? No, Wabanki's the pilot, Mokhtar's the engineer. I thought that was kind of neat, and it made a little bit of sense, because monkey wrench.
I thought that the Mokhtar and the Wabanki's little cultural angst against each other would be perfect fodder for a book in its own right as a standalone.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh yeah,
like Terminator meets aliens on a planet where it's just like two enter the arena, only one shall leave.
And
okay, maybe not that cool, but definitely cool.
JR, it's your turn. What's your whole spiel on them?
I really liked them. I wanted more. I'm hoping that some of these cool aliens they introduce, they come back and revisit. There's a few like they got like one mention, like the dog people that weren't the doobies. Yes, people. I know
the doobies, dude.
But like they had them on, I think it was Kill Team when they were making a grab, and this alien, it was like a dog, but it wasn't them, that walked out and was like, "Peace, I'm going back in my apartment. Don't bother me." Like that looked cool too. So there's a lot of aliens that get like a 3-line blurb just to add flavor that I think would be so awesome to come back to. And the Mokhtar is one of those. I mean, they got a little bit more screen time, but not nearly enough.
So the bottom line is that we can't have Foxio write the story on them then.
But he can write the cookbook.
Rookie, what did you think about Mokhtar?
Oh man, the first thing that came to mind when like I saw it's like, oh, it's a monkey mechanic. I thought about that movie Grandma's Boy, where the guy had he's like, yeah, I'm getting a monkey. I'm going to teach him to train with kung fu and all that. I'm like, oh boy, this is going to end well. Where it's like, and once I found out he's got beef with Skriz, I'm like, no, dude, just no, this ain't going down. But I did like him. I like the idea, like JR was saying, like the whole mechanic thing. I was like, that's pretty cool. I like that. In a way, they kind of have, like, in a way, that's something that them and the Wabanki, even with their blood feud kind of going on, I kind of like that's something they sort of have in common. Because remember, Rex has got a Wabanki that's sort of like tech savvy and all that. He works on his ship and stuff like that. But it's like, I'm like that. I thought that was pretty neat. I thought that like kind of reminds me of like other species from like Halo, like Kigyar or like the Jackals or the Yanmei. How they they're both or like the Yanmei, and then there's like the brutes. Brutes are like that too. Then you got then they have like the engineer, which is like a tech genius. And then like I remember in like one of the books they had like they had a huge blood feud with that, where it's like the drones didn't like the engineer, the Huragok, because like, hey, it's taking our job. And I was like, oh, but it was kind of neat. I liked I liked this. I thought when I finally got the Audible version of it, I at first read the book, and then I read the book where the Mokhtar was introduced, and I was like, man, this thing is just annoying. I'm like, I want Skriz to kill this thing. But then R.C. Bray read it, did its voice, and I was like, oh, this guy could be dangerous. Like, yeah, this could, man, that'd be something.
And Sphinx, your take on it? Maybe.
Sphinx.
Oh, Sphinx is dead. That's okay. We didn't need him anyways. I think we already heard Foxio's. Oh wait, no, Badger wants to talk.
Rawr, monkeys. No, go ahead. Keep going. Keep going around the circle.
Well, yeah, Foxio kind of did that, but Badger,
hey, you asked me the questions, so.
What was that?
I mean, you asked me the questions. I just answered truthfully as a Sinasian I am, so.
Yeah. So, Badger, what do you think about the Mokhtar?
I like the feud between those guys and the Wabanki. I think that was a nice touch. I think that as massive as they are, they probably also are being overused as enforcers, and because of that, you can see kind of like how size doesn't always necessarily equate to skill. As you see, like some of the kill team guys do some nastiness to those. And don't even get me started on when Rex, has a tendency to perforate them with his 50 caliber hole puncher. So,
yeah. So Badger, you want to finish us off with the wrap up?
Excellent. Well, this is definitely going to be part one. Foxio almost showed us a camera. This is definitely going to be part one of our creature feature. Because you got to be careful when you're dealing with all these mangly animals. They sit there and they, just right. So
no. that one.
Yeah, that one's off the menu. But like. You got to be careful. You can only handle so many creatures at a time. We got Dan Kim in the Facebook feed who is saying that he wants us to definitely on one of the next show tackle the Watcher from the Madame Guillotine book, because that creature was just absolutely creepy and weird and very, very cool. But we want to thank everybody for coming out and taking a little time on your Friday night to talk up Galaxy's Edge. Thank you to Foxio for coming out and sharing some of the love. If we could have you back to do a segment on Galaxy's Edge recipes, would you be in for it? You there, Foxio?
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, dude.
He's got that Asian internet, so you gotta let the lag catch up there.
So yeah.
No, it's It's the third world, dude. We're sending messages in from the edge.
I got
So-
you.
It's all good as long as you get us some of that Tenerian pad thai. That's
Hell yeah, dude.
Pad Thai. Oh my God, that's going to be the first recipe. It has to be. That's fantastic. So we just want to say thanks. Thanks to Nick Cole, who hung out in the Galaxy's Edge chat for a little bit, and to all of our lieges out there. Good night, good luck, and good hunting.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. The meetup news. I know
Hit it.
We've gone for a while without any news, but we actually have set a date. We're aiming for July 10th to July 12th. And so we're going to block out that weekend. We're going to go full bore on the planning. Again, thanks to Daya, who's been on the show before. She's got a lot of information on that. And yeah, so I should be posting some more information within the next week or so on that for everybody to share.
Is it in July for sure?
Yes, it's going to be in July.
All right, time to book a flight.
Right on.
And maybe next week, Nick Cole's probation officer will extend his leave for just a little bit longer, so he can stay with us for the whole show.
Well, next week is the bye week, right?
Yes. Okay. That is the other thing I was going to say. So next week, September, March 13th. That's our off week for the public show. But we are coming back on March 20th. So if you guys are looking for a time or want to get on your calendar, March 20th is the public show, and then March 27th is the Insider show. So if you get your Insider subscription, you can join us on the Insider show. So that means you get an extra podcast and more Dark Ops information.
That was very nicely done. That was almost slick and smooth.
Almost.
straight pop.
Right? And that being the case, we're out of here.